the chat, and you all are welcome to come up and chat with me. Right now it's 2 p.m. on this Friday. Friday. I wish it was Friday. On this Wednesday, I'm going to put the link in the chat so you guys are welcome to join in. Okay, hey, Betty. How are you doing? Good to see you. I had fun in your live earlier. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up and go live for so many hours. She lives in same city as me. You guys are welcome to come up. Hey, Cece, fashion's my passion. It's another awesome channel that you guys need to connect to. She does wonderful plus size fashion, and she is the fashionista. So, how are you doing, Cece? It's so good to see you. Yes, welcome one another. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. It's hump day, and I hope you guys have had a productive week so far. My week has been, I don't know. I've had one of those weeks where I was kind of getting over like this, whatever I was dealing with, because those of you who don't know, last week I was getting a little bit like some chest pain and I didn't know what was going on. And, now we're so excited about everything and think everything is C19. So I had to go to my doctor and they did all the tests. Thankfully, I was negative. Nothing was wrong with me. But they did a swab. I went to an allergist and they said I am allergic to pollen. So, like, I never have felt that way before. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I feel like I couldn't breathe in my chest. So that was my week, and my tummy was hurting me a little bit. So it was a little bit of an issue because I'm not used to having stomach problems and pain. And also, I will say, working in the medical field, people who work in the medical field are the worst patients because we know how things should be and we know how things should go. So we're kind of, I don't know, too much extra, whatever it is you want to call it. I know the protocols for the medical field. So I just do the best that I can. And thankfully, everything was okay with me. And I was not with the 19. I'm starting to feel better. My tummy is feeling better. Part of it, I think I had a little bit of C19 stuff. And I also think I had a little bit of pollen issues. I tell y'all, getting older is something. Oh, thank you, Betty. Thank you for coming back. You want to come up? You can come up if you would like to. I put the link in the chat. I'm so glad that you're here. Yeah. So one thing that I have to do now is learn how to start doing more things for myself. For those who don't know, for so many years, I used to take care of my elderly parents, and then for my work, I was doing things in the medical field. So, I was in burnout city because what I was doing for work was also the same thing that I was doing at home. So I was getting completely burnt out. I felt like I was going back and forth. Hey, we got Betty back here. Are you ready to come up, Betty?
Try to cut off. There we go. I wanted to make sure I wasn't echoing. Well, hello.
Hello, my dear. How are you doing?
I am fine. Soon as I get off with you, I am off of YouTube for the day. I would have been off if I didn't see you.
Oh, I'm glad you did.
I was hello everybody. I was headed off, girl.
Yes.
Headed off. Yeah, I've learned my lesson by YouTube.
Hey, Lispy, welcome in. Yeah. How you doing? Yes. Yeah, so you gave me a kind of a kick in the butt this morning because I was like, I don't really want to go live because I think because my other channels, I do only lives. I don't do any videos over there. So I feel like this channel, I don't want to get burned out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I did get burned out.
Mhm. So,
Yeah.
so let me stop talking about myself. I'm gonna let you talk about yourself. What do you have going on, Miss Betty?
Oh, a little bit of everything. I've been doing YouTube for what? About 17 months now. 17
Mhm.
months on the 25th in a couple of days. And I always talk about it was real hard for me. It was hard. That first year was hard.
Mhm.
It probably had something to do with the age, being 67 and young girl.
Well, you don't look like it, Miss
And
Betty.
then,
You look good, girl.
I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to do anything. So I had
Miss
to
Betty,
type,
let me tell you a secret.
uh-huh.
I didn't edit nothing for the first 2 years on YouTube.
Really?
Nothing. And I got 1,000 subscribers
Oh
without.
yeah, you'll still get them. I tell
Yeah,
anybody.
you still can get them. So,
I know. I still
so
know some people that don't. But
yeah.
I guess I'm just the type I want to know the back end. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
want to know what makes it tick. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And
So tell everybody who doesn't know about you, about your channel.
okay, I just did a major shift because I didn't have
Okay.
a niche. I
Hmm.
didn't have one, and I would do everybody tell me, well, it's lifestyle. You do everything, so it's lifestyle. But I never had a foundation,
Okay.
of really. I know some people say you can make it on here without one, and I'm sure you can. But I'm not 22, and a lot of times they're looking for youth.
I
They
don't
really
think so,
are.
Miss Betty. You say that, but I don't think so
I
because
know.
I think you just have to be an interesting person. That's all. I think if you're not
Okay.
an interesting person, then that's why you don't get the
Would you say
views. Let's
that?
just be honest.
Ah, but anyway, I could never get a footing. That's what it was. And
Okay.
then I got really tired. And then somebody said, well, take a whole month off. Don't
Hmm.
take like a little time off. And then I took the month off and I was like, I don't know if I'm going back or not.
Hmm.
And then I did a video or two, and then it seemed like the energy started coming back.
Okay.
And then I know I needed to find a niche, and it's gonna be living your best life over 60 and younger.
Okay.
You know, so it seemed like I found a more of a firm foundation that I had something to focus on. Even though the young people they still come, because I love talking about women when they're in their late 20s or early 35s, and up in because you're busy, you're taking care of everybody else.
Well, I just got out of that season in my life because both of my parents now are gone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I just went
Mhm.
through that. So I don't
Oh,
have to
okay.
deal with age parents, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
men forget themselves too, but women, sugar loves on here, huh?
Hey, sis.
Oh, hi.
Hi,
But
sis. Hi, I'm
yeah,
Betty. How are
yeah.
you?
All right. Yeah, we tend to forget ourselves. So I'm just a little reminder. And I love
Yeah.
doing lives too. I
Yeah.
love doing lives. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, Miss Sugar Love, let everybody know what you do over
yeah.
on your channel.
I do a little some of everything. But my main thing is um helping like people out, like dose of reality,
Mhm.
how like you deal with scam, like a lot of things that happen to you. You got to see what part you play into it, and how
Mhm.
to change yourself to,
Mhm.
for all these little traps and scammers you know, and all them type of things.
Mhm.
But I always try to bring a message basically for whatever that's going on in the news or whatever. I try to twist it and get you a message out of it.
Mhm. I agree with that, and you're doing so well. I was like, I want to be like my sister when I grow up.
That's what I say about you, and you know that.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have to come over with Sugar Love and see what's
I've been
going
telling her
on.
that for 4 years now. I want to be just like you. This
Like
is
you
how.
when you grow up.
I
Oh,
Yes.
want to be like Miss Betty. I want to be like Sugar Love, and I want to be like my good friend Boss Life Online. I want to be like all y'all when I grow up.
when we
I
grow
gotta check and Betty out. You have a channel?
Yeah, she does.
I'm
Yes.
definitely gonna check you out too, sis.
Okay. It's I am Betty J. Gathers. That's exactly what
And
we
what you do on your channel? I don't know if you spoke it before. I didn't
really
catch you.
I just changed over to living your best life over 60 and younger. So and then I do lives also. So videos and lives. Monday.
Oh,
Yeah. So I've been having fun with that. I really have. So
oh.
Yeah, and she lives in the same city as me.
yeah, girl, we're gonna have to meet up one
Yeah, girl.
day. Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be a nice if you like if she's live and you're live and both of y'all showing like the distance it is when y'all meet up.
Oh yeah, I got you. I got you. You know,
Yeah.
we
Oh,
meet
that's
up
a
there.
good idea.
Like
Yeah, we
you're
meet up
both
in
live,
Starbucks, you
like
know.
y'all pick a live, your live or her live, and you know how both of y'all are like right here, and
Yeah.
y'all show y'all going to each other so we could see like what stuff look like where she's at, what stuff look like where you at.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a
she got
good.
listen. She got us working.
She got us working, huh?
Yeah, because we could meet up like at Starbucks, but the one on the south side is.
Now from the house to the meetup.
I got you. I know what you're
Uh-huh.
saying. I'm just saying, if it's a Starbucks, the bigger one on the north side probably would be better.
Mhm.
So,
I think it would be probably good if we meet at a central location, Miss Betty.
hmm
And then we could because Miss Sugarloaf gave me a good idea about she wants me to start taking her to places like things that have history. 'Cause,
oh,
we got a
okay.
lot of history places in
Oh
our
yeah, we
city.
do.
Yeah.
We do. Even the Indian Mounds. Have you ever? I didn't even know that
See?
existed. I didn't know it existed.
Oh, I
You
know
know,
because I grew up here.
I didn't. I went out there, and it's just so peaceful out there. When nobody's there, it's like really peaceful. And
Well, I don't know. Miss Betty may not be as crazy as me, but when I was younger, they have a few of those where the clothes is optional.
oh,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
we gonna let her go in
Not,
there.
not
Yeah.
now.
Because
Not
with
now.
all of this, baby.
Not
For
now.
all of this, you got to pay a hefty rent.
Girl, don't you know some big money? Don't you know?
That's for
They're gonna have to
all.
pay some big super
And
chats.
the more you got to pay, baby.
Hey, and YouTube ain't getting none of it.
This is gonna be Cash App only.
Cash App only. But we had some YouTube creators one time. They're not doing it now, but girl, they almost got half naked. And they would have, yeah, and they would have cash apps just running across the yeah, they stopped. I guess they stopped. I don't see them up there no more. Girl,
Yeah,
they
a lot of people have
technically,
gave up. That's what we
yeah.
was talking about before. A lot of people have stopped, and I'm like, and I really miss. That's who I was missing, and I couldn't think of my girl name. And when I was in your chat yesterday, she came in there.
Who?
I don't forgot her name again, but I love her dearly. And she was in the chat the other day, and I was like, "I miss you," and she was like, "I'm back now."
Oh, you must have met Beverly Black.
Yes, she's another
Yeah,
old school one.
that's my girl. She had stepped away from YouTube for a while because she had hip replacement surgery.
I was so glad to see her.
Mhm.
I was like, y'all, man. I remember we used to all go on right after each
Yeah,
other.
you remember those good old days,
I
Miss
think I was
Sugarloaf?
always after kicking it with Karen. So
Yes.
I miss her too.
We used to be on live about 9 hours a day back in the day.
When I started, I used to I done learned my lesson.
Yeah.
Nobody got to tell me. As soon as I sign out for y'all, I'm done for the day with you. Nobody got to tell. I used to be on here 24/7. After that little break I took, like girl, you can't go back to that.
I know. And the whole thing about that, when you take a break from YouTube, it's like you don't want to come back.
I know. That's what I told you. I thought I wasn't. I'm like, I don't
No,
want
but when you take a break, one day like equals a week, 2 days. So because you come back, it's like so much news have and you so
Yeah.
far behind. It's like, where do I catch? I mean, depending on what type of topics that you do,
And then
and
it takes
especially the
time to get
topics
your
that I
feedback.
do, the
Uh-huh.
topics that I do, if I'm not on it, baby, is already spread it out. But some
Yeah.
days,
It's gone.
some days you got to say you can have it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm
Some days,
there,
like
honey.
the other day for 2 days, I think last week I said y'all can have it.
Uh-huh.
I was in my bed and this weather's.
Hmm.
It felt like 0, 0, 0 below. The next it was like almost 60 degrees the next day. It's like menopausal bipolar weather's going on here.
Oh my goodness.
We don't know
Oh,
what
I
to
see.
do.
I see Albert back here. You ready to come up, Albert?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi,
Hey, Albert.
Albert.
What's going
Hey,
on?
good,
How you doing?
good.
Yeah, good to see you.
Let's see.
What you have going on, Albert?
Just laying in the bed.
Okay.
And
Okay, Miss Sugar Love, you can keep going saying what you were saying then.
Oh no! Yeah, I was just like sometimes like what she was saying, But when you go, sometimes you gotta let them have it, and then just
Mhm.
don't be going too long though,
Yeah,
because
I'm
then
still putting out
because
one video a week.
because
It's
what happens is your people who have now got used to you
Mhm.
now have found somebody else
Hmm.
because they have to stay. If a person forgot about TV, a lot of people don't watch TV anymore. They watch the YouTube. They want to see you.
Mhm.
And if you're not there, then they're gonna find a topic just like what you will cover, but
Uh-huh.
with somebody else. Then they're gonna get used to them. That's how people lose subscribers. Not lose
Yep.
subscribers, but they lose their audience.
Yep. You
Yeah,
use your viewership.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because some
yeah,
people
because it's just what I've been
but
waiting.
what you want them to do? What you want them to do? Sit, don't do
Yeah,
nothing and wait for you.
yeah, because it's
Well, when I
like,
learned when I
mhm.
have to take a break for some reason, make
uh,
sure you keep up with your shorts. I
mhm.
know Miss Betty says she's not really into the shorts, but
I
I'm telling
just
you,
got into
those
it
those
and I'm
shorts have given me about 100 and something
just
Okay,
subscribers.
okay. You don't listen.
I
You
didn't
don't
get
perk
the
my ears back
subscribers.
up, honey.
No, baby, mine's a 16 seconds. I don't know how to make it go past
Oh,
over
Miss
16
Sugar Love,
seconds.
I'm gonna do a class with me and you, and we gonna come in StreamYards. You
Girl,
don't have to do y'all. I'm
girl,
serious. We
you
gonna do a
gotta put
class
me in
over here.
school. You gotta do me a whole school messing with. I don't do nothing. Right? But the thing is a 16 seconds. So then, you know, I'm going to start a series out. This lady, she's an older lady. She's like, no, 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 no. I said it's gonna be like a series with an older lady, and you want to like be asking older ladies questions and to get there, see what they're gonna say. What
Oh, this is gonna be good.
So I would try that for my
All
show.
right, you know some old ladies now. You
And
start.
it's
Oh, you
only
better
but
be careful. You don't know what you're gonna get.
no, but a lot of them, but the good thing is it doesn't take much time out of your day. It's only like a minute, and then they cut it down to 60. So how you feel about such and such? And then that's it. You go on with your day.
Yeah,
And then
well,
whenever you're
what
ready
I
to
like to
upload
do,
it, you can upload it whenever you're ready. I mean,
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. What I like about my shorts is what I like to do is I like to leave them on a cliffhanger.
Oh.
So like I'll do like, oh, today we're gonna talk about red flags in relationships, and you know what I can't stand is when they do this and then I stop it. And if they
Oh, girl,
and
I
then
want to
if
be like you.
and then if they really like it, because most of my shorts are remixes. So I know Miss Betty, you got lots of videos, and you too, Sugar Love. You can remix your
Mhm.
things that you already have, and you don't have to really do anything. You don't have to go out and make anything. If you have videos on your channel, you just go
Mhm.
and click remix and
Mhm.
use your own stuff.
I know,
Yeah.
but I wanna try that new series and I want to
Okay.
see what happens. But on my other channel, I might do it that way.
Now,
Okay.
what are you asking?
I don't
Ask.
know. I don't know. I'm a nut. I don't know. Who knows? But certain people
Mm.
you got to know. Like the church goers, you got to know what they ask them. You know. So I never know. I never know. Like before, I was driving and I didn't expect to do a short of it. But when you're driving someplace you live forever, and then they changed it so much that you don't know where you at.
Mhm.
I'm like, hold up, what? And that's I had to, and then a lot of people that was a quick little shot, just driving in a car, you
Yeah.
know. But you're right. If you don't want to go live or something all the time, do it with keep them shorts coming. You are absolutely correct.
That's
Mm.
what I learned is when I didn't know what I was going to do on this channel yet before I decided to make this a vlog channel. That's what I started doing to see if people actually would like the content. So I started showing, me driving, and I go here and I'm eating my food, and I started getting 400 views, 500. I was like, well, I guess people do like it. So
I
I
used to like them ones of you too when you used to be eating. I just don't like the beach ones. Oh
You don't like the beach?
no! Remember, I'm down the block from the beach. Just like
Yeah,
me and
you
the
don't
beach.
like the beach,
I
but
don't.
Oh.
They made me do a beach video. I got
yes, and I
one
remember
video.
I
I
was
had
there when
one
you made
video.
it.
I went to go see my mom's, and where she's at, she's directly on the beach. And I'm like,
Mm.
oh goodness. And the weather was so nice. And I usually look the other way, but I just
Mm.
looked the other way. But something said, you know what? I'm sick of y'all saying, you right by the beach, make one on the beach. So then I see her, but it's not the fact that I don't like the beach. I'm freezing over here, right?
Oh, that's because it's cold. If you had
Yes,
the
I'm
weather, you would love
freezing.
it.
I
Mhm.
don't like no, but when the weather's nice here, I just something about that sand, my feet in the sand. I'm like, what's to do? I'm like, I don't see the sense of it. Like I'm laying there, it's hot. I'm like, I don't I don't see the sense of it. But sometime maybe at nighttime I used to go sometime at night,
Mhm.
once in a blue. And then when you sit there, then it's nice when you're talking. You got a group of people in this night. Then that's when it's nice,
Yeah.
especially if it's like me. A music park is right there, so you got the lights there, the music is going. So it all depends. But not when I'm cold. I used to do that to my West Coast people. They used to get on my nerves, right?
Mhm.
So in the wintertime, that's when Empire was on, right?
Mm.
Yeah, I
So
remember
what I
that.
used to do, because they used to piss me off, right? Oh, it's beautiful. When they used to do that to purposely get me mad, or us West Coast people mad. I mean, East Coast people mad. So I said, okay, don't they forget that we're 4 hours before them. So I should be on Facebook, and as they always tell, like if it was Empire, oh, such and such did this and such did that.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
I used to fix they butt real good. Now when certain shows come on, they like, we are blocking you out. We're not your friend. Cause I like, so stop telling me about your weather and how beautiful that it is.
Oh,
And then
I gotta stop doing that, Miss. Because
I
I
used to
do
blow.
that all the time.
No, but the West Coast used to be, oh man, my West Coast people, they're like, when you come out here, we go get you. Cause if it was your favorite show, I'm going to purposely watch it.
Mm.
Especially if it was on TV, just so I could blow it for you.
Oh, because they didn't get to see it yet.
Right, they don't see it.
Yeah.
I'm 3 hours before
Oh.
you, so I get to see it 3 hours before you.
Yep. Cookie.
So I've been and wrote on Facebook.
Oh
Oh, they used to get at
no.
they used to get at me, but now they learn. They have learned. I don't do it anymore, but because they have calmed down. But we should just do that out of fun. People, you have fun with your friends. But man, but when that Empire and that other show, and I spent, and yeah, and Cookie did such a, oh my God, they feel like I'm going to.
Well, I used to get mad because my uncle lives in London, and they're 5 hours ahead of us.
Hmm.
So his show, he already done had it. He's 5 hours way ahead. So
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it, and he would be like, "Man, I can't believe that happened," and I'd be like,
Yes, yes, I like him.
"Whoa."
That's something I would do. I like him. Yes, yes, yes.
So I know what you mean. What you eating, Miss Betty?
A fruit salad.
Oh, you got one from Publix.
No, my husband makes it.
Oh, your husband makes it?
Mhm.
And put him in
I'll
a
be
nice
over in
bowl.
15 minutes.
Every day. Yep.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Mhm.
So, Miss Betty,
Mhm.
tell our audience, how long have you been married?
We dated for about 11 years and we've been married 22. 22. I'm losing now. I know we've been together 30 something.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a blessing.
That's wonderful, Miss Betty. Now tell us how you do it. How y'all do it?
That's just finding the right person.
Oh.
That's why I say when I hear people say, and I said today, when people say marriage is hard, there is no perfect marriage. Now, if somebody tell you they're lying, they ain't arguing, yeah, you arguing. Don't tell me you ain't getting mad with each other.
Mhm.
But I say really finding the right person.
Okay.
That's what, and you will know. People ask me how did, because you'll see all the red flags go up. You just be ignoring.
Oh. Mm.
You'll see.
I ain't gonna tell all my business, but
Yeah.
I'll
I
tell
had
a
a
little.
first marriage though. I had a
Yeah,
young first
when
marriage.
you have a really bad relationship, it's like you don't want to. It's like just leave me alone. I think sometimes it's important for you to take a break from relationships when you've been hurt,
I
because
will say
I
that.
feel like you jump into a cycle of getting the same person again if
That's
you
what I
don't.
that's what
That's
I
what I
told.
think. That's
Mhm,
my
it
opinion.
is. Because before I met my husband, that's what I kept feeling like I was just so you know what? I stopped dating. I stopped having sex 8 years. People didn't believe me. I was
Woo,
tired.
child, 8 years.
I
No,
was
honey.
tired though. I was tired. And you keep
I
making
don't know
mistakes.
about that, Miss Betty.
And you
8 years.
I know, but and look what found. Well, look what I found, girl.
Well, maybe I need to take your advice.
Oh. And you know what too, and I didn't think that really when I made that list. You know, as people say, make a list of what you want.
Oh, I've made a list, but if I make my list and
No, but
nobody qualifies.
I never really had a list because I realized you're never gonna get everything.
Mm-mm,
But
but
you know
you'll get most.
the main things that you really want, then that's what you don't compromise. I don't have to write that down. The
Mm-hmm.
main things that I want.
Definitely the same morals, and that's
Right.
that's a big, you know,
Yeah.
same morals. Um,
Yeah.
I wanted if I met an older, I wanted children grown. Um,
Mhm.
he have his job a long time. He had all that. He had his own house.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
You
you
know,
still look good to come home to though. You keep yourself up
but
nice.
that's what
You're,
happened when you got a
yeah,
good husband. We talked about that too.
yeah, you still nice and radiant and
Yeah,
everything.
look at her. Ain't Miss Betty beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
That comes from a good husband too. That's why I tell people I can look. I look and tell if you had a good marriage. I look
Yeah.
at the woman all the time, and she looked toe down. And he
Unless
looked good though.
Yeah. That's just like my mama. My mom and my dad was both 80 when they passed. And I think my mom looks about 10 years younger than what she was,
Mhm,
even after having 10 kids.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And they was married, what, 52 years?
ooh.
Yeah, 52 years.
But you know, since I was young, I always knew I'd be married old.
Really?
I don't know why. It's like everything. That's why I tell people all the time, and I found this out by mistake. But a lot of things you spoke upon your life when
Mhm,
you was
Mm.
to the point you forgot, and you asked. It's just so it was by mistake. I was
mhm.
on the bus with this lady, and I was telling her, yeah, I not now, but all my favorite movies like mobster movies, right? I
Mhm,
love my like the Scarface and all them
mhm.
type of
Oh,
movies.
gangster
Right,
movies.
I thought I was Italian at one point in time. You know what I say? You could tell me I was that Italian girl, Italian food, everything. So I was always saying, "Oh my God, I love the name Anthony." I used to be infatuated with the love Tony because Tony Matana, Tony. So all my shows had a Tony in it, right? So I said, oh my God, I love that name. My name was Chit, my child that what I'm naming my son that, and I forgot. So you fast forward 25, 30 years later, I'm on the bus and I'm telling this lady this story, and then I stopped and I froze. She said, why? I said, oh shit. Sorry, my friend. My son's name is Anthony.
Her son's name is
My
Anthony?
son's name is Anthony.
Oh, and you didn't even realize it.
No, but the trick is that you don't, the thing is now when I tell young kids, when you ask for something, you have to put some, you have to put some more to it. Because the only reason why my son's name is Anthony is because he's a junior. And I didn't think about it anymore.
Oh,
so I still got it because I asked for it, but I didn't ask for the damn senior. Right? See, so I said, so next time I would have said, let me name without him, but I'm like, I still got it. But even though I forgot about what I said, my son's name is still Anthony. And but God said it, being that you forgot about it, I'm going to send you an Anthony. He's going to want a junior.
Oh, yeah. I think, well, my mom used to always say, be careful what you ask for.
Thank you.
I used to always grow up saying, I don't need no man. And my mom, she said, girl, you better stop saying that. You're going to be sorry one day. And I'm just a very independent person. And I guess, like I always told my mama, I can't have anybody that matches my energy.
See, that's because when you was young, see, people already know them when they're young. They just forget. They just forget, and especially for all the good stuff.
That's so true.
For all the good stuff, like we forget. And then that's why it would take a conversation for sometimes people to realize who they are. And it just take like a simple conversation. And then when you start talking about your younger, you're like, well, hold up. I did. And then that's when some people start their lives. And it starts from a simple conversation because now everything comes back to you, the feeling and everything. But some things too you ask for. But see, these are things you have to tell not the younger generation, but the younger generation, because everybody have hopes and dreams and they have lights. But you gotta let them know, put some conditions on it. Like, Lord, if I like this, but can you do it like this, please? Because I was like, and then I always knew when I said, I'm gonna get married when I'm old, because I don't believe in divorce. I'm only getting married one time, so I'm not gonna get married until I'm old and we both messed up together. And I said that when I was young too. I forgot about that. Here I am, I'm never married, and I'm like, that's because I already told the universe that I'm getting married when I'm older. So I know he's coming. I know he's coming. But I couldn't. The Anthony one blew me away though, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get him to change his name, right?
So another Anthony could come in.
Lord, I was like, I didn't ask for the senior though. That wasn't part.
Or maybe
that wasn't part of the plan.
You may get a Tony.
The same thing. Tony is short for that's enough. That is enough. And it's so I did get a Tony. They call his father Tony. They call him Tony. And it's so funny and it's crazy how it went down. They called his father Tony. And then my son, I remember I said I wanted to name him Anthony, and my son out of nowhere. And so people used to call him Tony. He used to go, my name is Anthony. I said, well, this was exactly how I thought. I didn't mean to go for it like that, but I said this at 8 years old.
You set this up.
At 8 years old.
Yeah. And I always told my mama I was gonna have many businesses. I'm talking about little girls. The girls sit down and be quiet. And I said, Mom, I said, I'm gonna have all my things together. I'm gonna have all my shoes. And I'm telling you, this is me. When my mom told me when I was like older, she said, girl, she came in my house, said, girl, you know, you got exactly what you said. And I said, what you talking about? And she said, from you as a little girl, you was always talking about mama will have all these pocketbooks and all these shoes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
And then it all came back to you, right?
Yeah. And then when she said that, I was like, yeah, I did. I
Mm-hmm.
forgot I used to say that.
A lot comes from your childhood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
A
when
lot.
people going through bad things, I tell people some good things that in your mind happen in your childhood too. You know,
Mhm.
try to go back to
Yeah.
that place too, because a
Yeah.
lot of people like to go back to just like the bad part. But you know, don't forget about the dreamer side of you.
Yeah.
Or when we was younger, they call it the boards and stuff now, but we've been doing that since we were young. We used to have our best friend. We was going to live with our best friend forever. Then we used to put the cards on there. We're going to have this card. A lot of things we did when we were young as kids just to do it, that people are now getting paid good money for these things. Like these ideas just came up. I know we've been remember
That's
we
been
used to always
happening.
cut stuff out the magazines.
Yeah.
We always did the planning board since we just did it
Hmm.
as kids, and we always had picked out our house.
Hmm.
So we need to get back to
I remember that Sugar Love when I was a little girl. I remember in school they used to tell you bring some magazines from home and we're going to cut out things about your future. I remember pasting that with those little glue sticks on sheets of construction
hmm
paper.
hmm
Yeah.
So, and then if a lot of us can just seem to get back to the, because a lot of people, what I mean by that is people who forget their path. Like, I don't know my path, and I'm like, you have a path. Sometimes you got to go back and see what I like to do. But even though things may have happened to you, but it was something that you like. It was something that you was interested in. It was something that you did out of just to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes the things you did for the just to, that's your path.
Mhm.
Like some people sat back, and that's how a lot of people do does comic books now, because they sat back when they was young and they was just sitting up there just drawing. And then I'm like, you sometimes you got to people, you used to draw and do these things when you was young, and
Mhm.
they're like, oh yeah, then they get back into it. Sometimes people get lost because so many things happen to them.
Hmm. And I like what Miss Cece says when we were talking about men and things or relationships. Um, she says you don't need one, you can want one.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
too many women fail that need and they accept these bumps.
Mhm.
I see so much. I'm not saying men don't do it, but I think more so women do it. We feel that we're only as good as who we're with, and we feel that we're not good if we're single. And I'm telling y'all,
Mhm.
ladies, that you are fine single, you're fine married. And I had to learn that myself because that's how it always used to be. Like, oh, like if you say you were single, oh, don't worry, honey, you'll find somebody. You know, like what's that about? You can be
hmm
fine whether you're single and you're fine whether you're married. You
Mhm.
just have to be happy with
Mhm.
whichever
Yeah.
place you are in your life.
Mhm.
People don't understand that when you're single, you become busy, right?
Yep.
And what people don't realize is so much time go by, you forget that you're single. They
Mhm.
Hmm.
think that every day you wake up saying, I'm single. No, you wake up saying, I got this to do, I have that to do. And it just goes, it's just like that. So we're not lacking or wanting for anything because we're busy. We're
Mhm.
doing stuff. We're occupying our time. Now, for people who's don't have like hobbies, and I always tell people who have that type of single, and they're like, oh, wait, that's because you need something to do. Find you a hobby, get into an
Mhm.
organization,
That's exactly what I
do,
tell them.
do
Yeah.
some do some community service or something. It's a lot out there to do.
Yeah, you got to have your own life. Like,
Yeah.
what the thing that I don't like is I see a lot of women, and I especially see older women. It's no shade to older women,
Mhm.
but I think sometimes older women think that if you don't have children, you don't have a
Mhm.
romantic relationship, that you have no life. You can
Yep.
be completely whole, living your life, doing things and traveling and enjoying yourself.
Mhm.
And like people like act like you're to be pitied because you're traveling and you're eating at home by yourself. I said, listen, there is nothing like the peace that I have
But
right
I like to eat by myself.
Well, I think with me, people know me to the point they don't even have that conversation with me.
now. No,
Because
well, no, I'm not saying you,
that's
but
how
I
no,
see
I'm talking
older
about in
people.
the street.
Mm-hmm.
Because they see me busy so much. Like right about now, the summer youth was coming back, so they know I be about my bed. They know don't. I think because they see me doing something, they don't even never ask that to me. And I see sometimes people like will try to talk to me, but like men or whatever. But I say well, if it happens, it happens. I don't. You know what I'm saying? If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. But I'm not wanting for anything like far
Yeah,
as attention and love and all
yeah.
these other or
And
feel
I
like
think
the
it's
need.
kind of hard for my older friends that's like I have one that's unmarried and she's never been married. She's probably like 60 something. I say, I know what you're gonna tell me. You married. And I know it's just normal that you want somebody, but I told her, girl, them men out there, you got your own home paid off. You know what I mean? All that stuff. So you're gonna let somebody come up there that you really probably gonna hurry up and marry because you're gonna think you ain't got no long time to date.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how you learn them, you know.
Hmm.
So and then you may get an older man that may be sick.
Hmm. Well, that's the one I'm getting. But go ahead.
I know you don't want no sick one.
It'll be just as bad as me. Everything
And
gonna
you
hurt
just
too.
and you got
Everything
to
gonna hurt too. We're gonna have a hurting marathon.
yeah, you got to realize too, your body's changing,
Hmm.
and you got to realize all that. And then you got a new husband coming in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My mom and my dad, I thought my parents' relationship was funny until now that I'm an adult. And I was like, yeah, my mama was right. Y'all gonna laugh at me, but laugh at my mama, but my mama had her own room.
Mhm.
No, my best friends was
I
always
know a
senior
lot of people.
citizens, and they had separate rooms. So I
Mhm.
understood that at an
Maybe
I
early
it was
get it.
just
age.
because of snoring too. Some
And
people
I
do that.
no, I always my best friends was always senior citizens. I don't. That's why I see things differently than other people. I understand a lot, and I'm
Mhm.
and the majority of them had their own rooms.
Mhm.
And once and they was like, man, I like to sleep the way I want to sleep, and he get to sleep, and they still function regularly,
Yeah.
except for when they go to bed, unless they want it cuddling, and then he'll sneak into her room. They got times when they sneak into each other
Yeah.
rooms and stuff
I
like
used to
that.
I used to say y'all are dysfunctional. But now, no, but
No.
now that I'm older, I see
Older. Yeah.
that was
I
very
can see it.
functional.
And it could
Hmm.
have been from snoring, somebody tossing and turning, somebody like to get up early like me, get up early. They may need to, want to get up late. So it just
Mhm.
depends
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
Cause see
I
me,
used I used to say that. I used to say, "Mama," I said, "Mama, you need to go in the room with your husband."
ah,
The child telling her mama.
I did. I'm the 10th child, so I had to
Hey,
be.
done learned,
I was
done
like,
learned.
"Mama, go in that
Listen,
room
her
with your
mama
husband."
done made her marriage work for 50 some years. What do you know, little girl?
That's what my
mm,
mama said. Girl, go sit down somewhere.
he probably was like, I know I'm 80, but I might have another baby. Nope, you stay, you stay over there. Time we get in the bed, we make a
How
baby
old was
dag.
your mom when she had you, Marlene? How old was
I
your
believe
mom?
I think my mom was 42,
Okay,
43.
okay. I know she was
Like
saying, you
after
ain't touching
43,
me
she
no
said,
more.
separate rooms,
Woo!
please.
And my mama said, "Separate." Oh, we done.
Oh, girl, I know she was like,
Done.
I'm
She
done.
said,
I'm
separate
done.
rooms,
You stay
please.
way over there. I'm staying here.
My mom said,
Oh,
every time
oh,
he comes around me, Lord have mercy.
oh, there you
My
go.
Yeah,
goodness.
that's why when you came along, that poor woman needed to be in the
Yeah,
separate
This
my
room.
mom was like, "Ooh, 10?"
separate
Mom,
room.
my mom said it was funny. I don't know if I told y'all this before, but my mom said it was funny. Every time my mom was pregnant, my dad was surprised. She used to be so mad.
He
So,
just
but what you
breathed on her.
surprised for?
He just
Every
breathed
time
on
she's
her.
pregnant, yes, all 10 children, your
Like,
daddy
Mama,
was surprised.
And she was the baby. Oh, I was the baby.
Yeah, my dad was so elated when it was my dad said, "Yes, my last child," because he said, "I want one more." And my mom said, "No way." And my mom thought it was menopause, and she went to the doctor, and they was like,
It was like,
"Menopause? You mean prenatal?"
yeah, that's what most of
ooh,
them women catch from
Yeah, man.
'She
40.
might want to scratch him out. Like,
Mm.
And I think that's why their relationship used to lasted so long, because my mom said, when I need a break, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
a break.
and
You
then
know what
most
I
of the
mean?
kids are out the house because they
Mhm.
grown.
And
Mhm.
then that's I mean
Yeah.
between the husband and wife, that's what works for them.
See, that's
You
Yeah.
what
know,
people don't
it
understand.
may not work for me.
Thank
You know
you.
what I mean?
And you need
Mhm.
to, and being that you're a married woman, people really truly need to understand that.
Mhm.
And maybe you should talk about that
And
a
then
little bit
they
more
need
on
to
your
shut their
channel.
mouth about their marriage, and then
Uh-huh. Because
nobody else
people,
can really come in it.
because people now that it's social media and all this other stuff, people really think they got the right to dictate other people's marriages and tell you how it's supposed to work.
Mhm. Yep.
Mhm.
My mom said, if she listened to people who tell you that your child is supposed to be in another bedroom in a crib, my mom said, "How you think I'm gonna get up out of my
I
bed
know that's what I say
and
'cause
take
I
care and
breastfed.
put a child to breastfeed,
Mm-mm.
and I got all these other
It,
kids plus your daddy?" Mom said, that kid, you would be in there sleeping all night. I would never get up.
somebody saying something to sugar. Anyway.
Let's see. Hey to everybody in the chat.
Hey, Point Blank, what's up?
Point blank. I have
Oh, he says
laryngitis.
he has laryngitis.
Oh, you can't talk.
Oh, oh, this is when it's good now, Rod. We can talk about you and you can't do nothing.
You are done, done,
You
done.
are done.
Yeah, but
Stick a
I
fork in
think
it.
that'd be good to hear from you, Betty, because a lot of people think that people don't understand it's your marriage,
I know, but you got to keep people out your business,
right?
though.
But that's something you got to tell people as a married woman,
Yeah, we just talked about that today on my show.
yeah.
My
Just
mom used to always tell me, mom used to say, I don't care whether you're married, you're not married. She said, if you want to keep your relationship, keep your business in your relationship. Mom used to always, and I used to be like, oh, mom, please. And I used to be telling everybody. And then when I would be fighting, and then mom said, child, I done told you what to do. You all listen.
them old women were a mess,
My
honey.
mom
But
used
they
to
ain't
say,
the
mom,
best. But they
please.
was the best.
Yeah, my mom was the best. And I would go right back to my mom and say, Mama, you was right. I'm going to shut my mouth. Okay, I'm done. Because like what we was talking about earlier, Betty, you used to get mad with who you're in a relationship and go tell your brothers and sisters,
Yeah,
and then next thing
and
y'all
then
get
they
all
mad,
hugged up and y'all
Yep,
back together.
yep, yep, yep,
and then
yep,
they
yep,
mad
And
at
now
when
my
y'all
brothers
all
can't
made
stand
up.
yep, yep.
and my brother like, and they'd be like, well, why your brothers don't like me?
Oh my
Um,
goodness. Oh my, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that
so
is
I
stay
so
away
learned.
from
that is
them
so
married
true.
people.
That is
Them
so
strange
true.
people. They are strange people.
Mhm,
They are strange.
mhm. That's why
I
you
mean,
can't let nobody dictate your relationship. You got to know what works for your relationship and what works for
mhm.
you.
I know that's
Mhm.
that is so true.
Yeah,
I
and then
don't be around somebody else that got a bad marriage because girl, yours gonna collide. It's going
and don't be like, well, women supposed to. That's another thing that break up a lot of
Oh, I
oh
can't
yeah,
stand that.
that's
That's
true.
because you
supposed
got
to.
that coming from the well, do your woman do this? Like, no, well, your woman supposed to. No, no.
And the best people are a man and a wife that don't have a lot of friends. That's the goal. You ain't got
Yeah,
all these people coming up in your house and stuff and having, a
yeah,
lot of say so. But if you don't tell them, they ain't gonna know. That's the whole
yeah.
Mhm.
And that's what my mom used to say. My mom always used to say, I never used to see my mom hear about my mom's and dad's business. Our whole childhood growing up,
Mhm.
my mom, if the mom say, I need to see you in the other room.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
ooh, daddy,
Then
Yeah.
what?
I'd be like,
Yeah.
daddy's in job, dad's in job. And he would come out, he would say another word, sitting down reading the newspaper.
But that's that, technically that's how it's supposed to be. We
Yeah, because
don't
they
we
say
don't we
really when
don't
you
have
argue in
that.
front of the children, it affects them.
Yeah, a lot of times, with these days and times, people don't have that respect factor anymore. They just say that we keep thinking that, well, the kids get, no, it's not about them, hearing it, or they're going to hear it. We don't have nothing to hide. No, that's a respect factor. And that can see, these are things that's why every generation get worse, 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 and worse. To the point now where these kids literally talk to the parents like we're the same age. No, we're not. I don't care how grown you are. You will never be growner than me.
And I say, watch out for the serial married person, always married and then divorced.
Oh boy. Or the relationship hoppers, those are the ones that I can't take.
Oh,
As soon as they break up, 2 days later, you see them hugged up with somebody else. I'd be like, can you take a breath?
Yeah. And then I had to learn too, certain conversations I don't fit in.
Yeah.
Like, because of our age. So I had to learn, like, when you hear like some women, well, you have to build with the man, take the man for the way he is. And I'm like, that conversation is not for me. At my age, you better have yourself together. No, I'm not building with, no, I'm not taking you as is. Not at my age. You should already have yours. How when you by my age, if you ain't got yourself together, you shouldn't be with nobody. But then a lot of people want to argue that. And I have to tell people, no, a younger person can say that. Like a person in their 20s, if you with somebody, that conversation is for you. But the older people seem to listen to that and thinking that conversation is for, no, that conversation is not for you. If you got to do things according to your age. And if a man is still at 45 and 50 trying to make it and
I
still
still
looking
home with
for
his
a
mama.
job or waiting for you to hold him down, I would, ninja, I'm trying to.
Ooh.
Why you home with your mama?
Yes. Mm-mm. My mom and my daddy used to call those mosquito men because they're gonna suck you
Suck you
dry,
dry,
and then they're gonna leave you with a sting.
and you be
Yeah.
itching. Then you be itching all over.
Get you.
Yeah, but that's why I say some people gotta realize sometimes you gotta really speak to people
Hold
on your
on a
own
second,
age
guys. I'll
bracket.
be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes you have to speak to people in your own age bracket. And it's certain things, and you have a lot of these older women tell them like, no, that's no.
Blank
So
experience, hello, and chilling with the realest. I just connected with you, love and
oh,
live. So I'll be waiting.
thank you,
And
chilling with the realist.
thank you. And a point blank experience, love and live show. Thanks so much. Appreciate receive all the prayers. I think he thought this was your live sugar love. Seemed like that's what he said earlier.
Yeah, but they know we all family,
Yeah,
so.
he got laryngitis, shot. He can't talk no way.
Well, he got them fingers though. He got them.
I know what I
Tap, tap, tap,
noticed. Yeah.
tap. No, yeah, but it's all right because we all family.
Yeah. He
We
got
all
lost
family,
a
and we
little.
supposed to go into each other's life anyway.
Yeah. Well, girl, this
All
is
right, I'm back.
it for
That
today.
was my nephew.
Oh, okay.
He stopped by. He just got his job. He's a firefighter now. He had his little
Oh
Oh,
my goodness,
my
he did a
brother been a
lot.
firefighter
Ooh,
since he
that's not
was
easy. Tell him we all
18.
said congratulations,
yeah.
baby.
Mhm. He's
It's one
like,
of those situations where he's my nephew, but he's also like my son.
oh, okay, yeah.
He's
Oh,
my nephew's son, so
Esther.
he's like, oh, I had to
That's
check on you,
so
Mama. Yeah.
excellent.
Mhm.
Isn't
Excellent.
that sweet when you got like nieces and nephews that also like your kid? That's the best feeling
Yeah,
ever.
I had them. That's why my mama used to always say, "You better leave, put your sister's kids down, and go get your own."
No,
And I was like, "No,
no,
I love these babies. These my babies.
exactly.
These
No.
aunties' babies."
And I could get them back.
Yes.
Give them back. I
But you
would
do something
surely.
to them, boy. My nephews, boy, they all grown. I will cut you. Do not play with them.
I know. I don't play about my nephews,
Mm-mm.
and my sister's like, "You come and get your son, your nephew sons, because I'm
But-
sick of them." And I say, I says, "You did." They, I am that way with my nieces and nephews because they can be real with me.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I don't do the thing like take sides. I was like, y'all grown. You know what you did right or wrong. I tell them the truth. My sister will sugarcoat. I was like, no, don't tell them that they're right when they're wrong. Don't do that.
Right.
You got to be somebody. Got to be like that in the family because now
Yeah.
that my mama is gone, somebody has to
Yeah.
step up and say, no, you're wrong.
And really, it's my baby sister. She's the glue that holds us together.
Because
Yeah,
I'm
And
the
that's
one.
how she is. She's the
I'm
glue.
yeah. I'm the baby sister, so yeah.
yeah, I'm the one. If you get a phone call from me,
Uh-oh.
get ready.
Get ready.
Get ready, boy. I got a mouthful. They like,
Woo.
oh Lordy, what did I do wrong? They know because I'm the type of person I would like hear periodically how you're doing things, fine, everything's okay, and because of Facebook or whatever, I already know what's going on with your life. But I believe that you should call me. I'm the elder. I believe you're supposed to call like I used to call my aunts and uncles. I am so old school.
Yeah, I'm
But
that way too. I said, don't text me. Do
mhm,
not text me. I need to see your face and see how you look.
exactly. So now, but if I call you, oh, it's like, and they're like, she don't, how, they try to figure out, because when something needs to be done, I'll get the phone because they know I'm the one that, if you scared, I'm going to tell it like it is, baby. Wow. And I'm
Mhm.
rah, rah. And they know to get on track. But because they all doing so well, thank God. Everybody's doing
Yes.
well. Everybody's married now. They have their own kids.
Yeah.
But I don't care. You still my babies.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
child.
I told my nephew and whoever they're in relationship with, I said, I'll beat both of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
and the girl, I'll beat both of
Mm-hmm.
y'all. Act up.
That's yep. Yep.
Come
That's
on,
how
both
I
of y'all
feel.
can get it. Mhm.
That's exactly how I feel. I don't be playing. I don't know. I done change because they fail to realize even though we aunts and uncles, they don't understand we sacrifice for you guys too. Like I've
A
been
lot of
there for
our
everything.
years.
Don't play with
Mhm.
me.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Do
Yep.
not
All
play
those
with.
times not going to a prom and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We sacrifice too.
Yeah. Yeah, I sure
Oh
did.
my
So that's why
goodness.
I used to get pissed off. That's a whole subject that I want to cover on my other channel. But I don't like when people say people who don't have children are not mothers.
That is
Oh,
not
I
true.
always
I'm
say y'all
still a
That
mom.
is
mama.
not
Oh,
true.
my
I'm
That
still
sister,
is
a
biggest
not
mama.
sister,
true.
she didn't have it. She's definitely a mom.
The minute my nephew came into this world, I was a mama.
Mhm.
Even I had my own, but
Even
he,
before then, really,
yeah,
when you look
but
at
but that's the first. He's the first. So the minute my nephew came into this world, I was a mama, and I took him right from my sister. I did not even give him back.
Mhm.
I ain't give him back. No, I didn't.
Guess what? I brought my nephew home from the hospital.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The minute he was born, exactly. I we tell
My sisters, I was like, you stay here and you rest. I'm taking my baby.
that's what I did for 6 years. I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Yes, I
My
did.
sister talked about, can I see my child, please? No,
Woo!
ma'am. You go ahead and go back to sleep. And
And mama see you another day.
yeah, and see you another day.
We need milk money, we need Pampers.
I
That's
ain't
that's
care.
how it was. That's
I
why
ain't
they say
care.
it takes
I
a
ain't care.
community.
I ain't ask for nothing. Don't give me. And they had
Oh,
good
she ain't
jobs.
want nothing.
I ain't want nothing.
She want them people, baby.
Yeah, my sister used to get mad. She used to be banging out and talk about, give me my baby. I said, you ain't getting this baby here. So
I
go ahead,
know,
go home.
Marlene. I don't feel bad no more. Thank
Go
you.
home. I
I
said,
don't
go
feel.
home.
Oh God. And then we give them a schedule, right?
Yes. I'm like,
Oh my
you can have
goodness.
them on Friday.
Oh gosh.
Mm.
Oh my God.
That's
Yes,
my
yes,
baby.
yes. So, so even though they grown now, and then their significant others don't understand that.
Yeah, they always like one of them said, "Oh, that's just your auntie," and he gave him a look like, you better be careful. Just your auntie, tell me, she raised me, so
Exactly.
that's different than just being an
Exactly.
auntie. Yeah,
But all the majority of the aunties that I know, they don't play about, and people don't understand we are more than just auntie, and especially for some young men who, especially the ones who never known their uncle was all they ever known. Uncle was the one who did everything. I know a lot of men who've cried, like if their uncle passed away, they shed more tears for their uncle than their own dad.
Yeah.
Uncle was the one, oh, I'm gonna go to my uncle's house, or unc this or unc that. And that's where we get the term auntie and nephew from, because that's how much important we were to our nieces and nephews in real life. They still coined that term. And people think it's like, well, don't call me auntie. No, it's a reason why people call you auntie, because that means second mother. When they call you auntie or unc, even though they're not even related to you. But that's just a thing, because aunts and uncles has been so good and means so much to their nieces and nephews. So we still call, when people good to us, we'll say, okay, auntie. That just means you good to them.
It does.
They see you in a higher. She said, drop the link again.
Yeah, I saw it. Thank you. Yeah, right. That's what I say all the time. Don't discount the aunties and uncles, because people think because you're an auntie or your uncle that, oh, why you didn't get your own children? Excuse me, I've been taking care of kids for. Watch yourself now.
Yes, and I enjoyed every day. And now to see them grown, it just breaks my heart.
I kick my own self out.
Oh, you okay, Miss
I
Betty?
be doing that too.
I do that
stuff.
too.
I be on this way to public, child. Public.
Yeah, I had to tell my my family members, because they were disrespecting me. They was like, oh, you need to stop taking care of their kids and get your own. Excuse me? Like I can remove love from my heart? No, I'm not gonna do that. This is mine. Exactly. I tell my sisters all the time, act up. I'll take them. I'll make them disown you. They gonna choose auntie over mama. Believe that. Believe it. And they know too. Talk about, you better ask your auntie.
Oh goodness.
Hey, Miss Ride.
Hey, Miss Ride or Die.
Oh, I'm trying to figure something out.
Huh?
I didn't hear.
Yeah, you broke up.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Oh yeah, I hear you just fine.
Hi, how you ladies doing? I'm just
here.
You good?
We're good over here. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I was just listening. You know, I typed a little bit in the chat. I was just listening to you guys, you ladies talk, and yeah, you know, it definitely takes a whole village to raise a child. To have a village. I'm very fortunate to have a village. You know, that's why I try to be a village, part of a village to other people and their children, you know? Yeah. Because people understand, you know, they go so far away from what the parents have taught them. Parents have taught them morals and respect. These children now, they're just all over the place. So it's important that the children that you have and the children that you teach carry on with the routines and traditions and morals and respect that your parents put into you for your own children. You
And I
know.
see you put something here in the chat, Miss Rod. You said, I just gave birth. My sister did the mothering.
Mm,
Yeah.
I think
mm,
that's a profound statement. I think that's a profound statement because I think that's the same thing that happened to my sister. Is I'm not discounting, who she is now, but at the time my sister wasn't in the space mentally and emotionally to be a mother.
mhm,
Even though I was younger, I knew how to kiss on those babies and love them and do what I needed to do at 14 years old.
mhm.
People think just because you give birth to a child means you're a good mother.
Right.
Mhm.
And sometimes you're just not in that space, you're just not ready. And then other people come in and they'll catch you up until you're ready to take over.
Mhm.
Aware of what I wanted to do with my life at the time. But I was working. I was working odd jobs or whatever. You know, they never asked me for anything. I gave whatever I had to them, and they was happy with that. And I would make appointments to come visit, I guess, or whatever. Sometimes I get to get on the weekends. You know, I married his father though, but my second son, I had to fight with him because people, people never saw my second son with me in the street. He
Oh,
had a full-time babysitter, and I would always watch them, you know.
Mhm.
And this lady said to me, she said, "Who are you? Come here, Master K. Vaughn. Who are you? I'm mother." She was like, "I never seen you before." And my kid, gave her a hug. I was like, pulled his hand back. Who is she? And so I said, "I'm his mother." She was like, "Oh, okay." I said, "The girl, she babysits for me." Man, when I tell you, I had nothing to do with that kid. Nothing to do with him either. She was a great babysitter. I love her to today. Went to her college graduation and da 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 da. But to know that she was loved by the community, that who actually thought my son was her son because I worked hard. I really worked hard and really worked hard. City jobs are not easy as people think they are. They're really hard. So I'm just saying, so yes, it does take a whole community as a collective to raise families.
Mhm. Mhm.
Actually,
it
ladies
does.
telling on me, the old ladies were ratting me out to my mother. My mother was busting down. So, as I got older, I said, I shouldn't have been mad at them for always getting me spanked. But
Mhm.
I appreciate that they was looking out for me all the time. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, the whole neighborhood, all the old ladies just line up one whack a piece. People, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but communities should stay. Now, if you try to reprimand somebody's child, they want to arrest you and fight with you or whatever. But they're not
Mhm.
understanding the village concept of the community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I was growing up, if you walk past somebody's house and you didn't speak, you were going to get into
Mhm.
trouble later. So
Mhm.
you had to walk past people's house and be looking who's on the doorstep. You'd be like, "Hi,
Mhm.
Mrs. So and so. Hi, Mister This and this." Because if you didn't, and they saw your mama or daddy first, ooh, you was in a world of
Ah,
trouble.
ah, ah.
Yeah,
But she walked past
Yeah.
here like she didn't have no sense.
Exactly. Exactly. That's a loss. It's sad that that's lost too. And then, especially with all these kids where nobody understands. I think that with the technology, because just like before, like we was all one because we only had one stereo. So it's not like people now could throw headphones on or whatever. So whatever that brought us close to our parents too. We knew their music, we knew their generation, and
Mhm.
whatever was played was played. Like TV, we had one TV. Whatever was on TV, so it was more family orientated like that. Now everybody going to their separate zones, their separate worlds. You on this? I mean, it's to the point that everything is everybody's so in their own now. Like so
Mhm.
before, like now, when you that's why when you ask these kids about certain artists, whatever that I don't know. See, we knew it was only one radio. It was only
Right.
one whatever mama played, that was it. Like you didn't have a chance to pick and choose. Well, I ain't even gonna hear that because their headphones is all but whatever them little things that be in their ear.
Mhm.
It was only one phone, so we knew Our parents knew our friends because they was the ones who picked up the phone. You couldn't text and do things. A lot of you still was able to do stuff behind your parents' back. But you guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not like the texting and stuff, and because their phone is locked. Wasn't no thing is locked. Like
Lock where?
exactly.
We used to have the phone that used to what is it called?
Rotary.
Rotary. Yeah,
Oh my
rotary.
goodness, it used to take you about 10 minutes. And if you messed up, you got to start all over
Oh,
again.
oh.
And I'd be like,
And then while you talking, your mother be in her room and listening. So a lot of things our parents was well aware of our lives, our friends, what we was doing. Unlike now, you got to go on a scavenger hunt just to find out what your kids is doing. And then even though like the younger ones may not have it locked, but a lot of us got the older kids.
Oh, the younger ones got them locked.
Then
smart.
I'd be like, yeah.
They got them locked.
And then they got it locked different ways. So they got it locked with the number. They got it locked with the eyes. They got it the face wrap. What the heck?
They can set up a fake account and you can't even find it on the phone.
Yeah. And what I don't like now is the younger people now. What I see my nieces and nephews and the younger generation that I don't like. That's when I was like, I'm getting older, because they'll be sitting right next to each other and texting each other.
Oh yeah.
I don't like that. I'll just take both of their phones and grab them, and I say,
the last time my nieces and
each
nephews
other
was here, they were all teenagers. They were just
they just like this.
All they wanted that Wi-Fi, and then you ain't never heard again.
And I told them I take their phones away. They know when they come in Auntie house, put it in the box. Put it in the box. Have a conversation. Talk to each other. And I mean, they think it's funny when we do. We say, like me and my sister will say, you say, "Hi, how are you doing?" That's how you do it.
You know,
you got to teach them. They don't know.
Yes, that may be foreign. Hey, Triple, how you doing? Yeah. That may be foreign to some people, but you got to teach them. I mean, it's a lot of things is a lost art, and I'm like, at some point, it's not like it can't be found again, but it has to be little by little. If you're gonna wave to something, like when people come in here, you wave hi. Why you can't do it in real life? They wave hi. They do all these things on social media, like they waving, they blowing kisses. Why you can't do that in real life for people?
Don't know how.
No, and I told them, I said that's a problem that I have, because I work in management, and I see that the younger people don't have social skills. Like, if somebody on the job is offending you, they don't have conversations. They go straight and they'll talk about that person and tell somebody else how they feel, instead of, I said, but did you tell them how you feel? And they're looking at me like, what do you mean?
So sad.
It's so sad. I was like, so before you go and tell somebody else and post on Instagram who you're having a problem with, this is what you do. You say, hey, can I talk to you? And you say, I'm having a problem with this and that. And I feel like it's sad that you have to tell people how to have a conversation. But, I think it depends on how you were raised. My parents didn't play that.
Well, you got to remember, too, the big mamas that I talk about, they all gone. And then everybody's just so spread out. And then these younger women are trying to raise children. So,
hey, Shawty,
say you have a baby at 14. Then your daughter had one. I've worked with young teen parents, and then you have a baby at 14. So your mama is only 28 and she's a grandma. We still trying to find your stuff at 28.
Yeah. You sure are. I know. I don't think you come into start knowing what you want and who you are until you're around 40.
Yeah.
Baby, 40 was beautiful. But see, that's where the younger generation, they should appreciate. I mean, our nieces, you need to really appreciate us, because this generation, the older people thinking, being that what she said, they're so young. like now, a lot of these kids are left to watch their own kids.
Yeah,
Unlike grandma and auntie and them. No, now it's no. I'm beating you out the house. I done went and got my buttocks done too. I done got my I got my BBL and my breast. I they're making themselves even look younger.
And
so
that's just
they're
young
hitting the
women.
clubs.
They're so young.
So these kids, our young kids, you need to appreciate us, because y'all the ones before, you could drop the kids off, not no more.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I say now. I feel like the all of that is kind of ending because people, especially during the pandemic, it's like people just shifted and started acting weird. Yeah, they started shifting, and the things that they decided, I'm just not going to do that anymore, and people have want their own lives. And I feel like there's nothing like, you get different love from different family members. You get a different love from your grandma, from your auntie, from your uncle. So I feel like it's important for all children to have relationships with each of them. And it's just not happening now.
And that's why a lot of these kids don't have no direct, because grandma is not grandma no more. Like grandma's not giving them hugs. Right. They're not giving them hugs. And like you said, that grandma love, they see grandma looking like mommy. They both like, dad, grandma got the high heels, the short skirt, and the bubs out. Grandma's twerking, and she got, and they don't,
there's no separation.
Right.
There's no separation, and I don't like that. Now, I'm not telling nobody what to do with their own life and how they want to dress, but in my way, I guess you could say I'm old school. I think a grandma should look a certain way. I think a grandma should be cooking meals for grandkids.
Oh, Lord.
I know. I'm stirring up an anthill. I'm stirring up.
She's screwing it up.
Yeah, I'm stirring it up.
Yeah,
but I'm just going by the way that
that's what we all need to hear. Each side of, we all were raised in different households, and whoever raised us. But I worked with young teen parents, and I'm telling you, some of these babies, they aren't even being hugged. They are not even. I asked one of my teen parents, I said, well, why don't you hug your children? She was telling me, they don't need to be hugged. Can you imagine that you're a child and you're not getting that from your mom?
Well, Betty, I'll tell you, that's how I grew up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and my parents used to be mad because I come from Jamaican parents, and they don't believe in affection. See, my parents told me one day, point blank, they said, love is you got a roof over your head and you got food to eat. He said, I really love you. And I was like, no, that's not. And we got into it one day, and I said, love is saying I love you. And tell me, girl, get out of here. That's crazy.
It's crazy because me too, having the West Indian background, but I was always a hugger. I'm the type of person that I didn't care if that wasn't you, but you gonna give me a hug, or I would just come under you and snuggle under you.
I don't hug as much as I used to.
No, but that's when I wanted it. I used to get it, and even though they didn't want to, but I'm still gonna hug you and get over and give me a hug. And like, girl, get away from me. And I'm like, no, I've always been like that. I'm like, when I wanted it,
kids need that softness from their parents.
Yeah,
because where you gonna get it?
Well, I tell y'all where I got my softness from. Y'all would never believe I got it from my daddy. Because my mama was not. My mom was like, girl, I'm over here cooking and taking care of kids and stuff. And I had to teach my dad. And I was like, Daddy, you know what you do? And I said, I'll show you. And I opened up his arms and I said, and you do this. And he learned. After a while, he started hugging people. And everybody was like, what's wrong with Daddy?
Right. See, you was the one like me. We was the one to teach them how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And my sister said, you done changed, Daddy. And I said, I sure have. And I'm sure proud.
Now come over here and give me a hug.
Come over here and get your hug.
A lot of people not going to agree with me on this either. The baby boomers, my generation, we messed up. We need to apologize to every child we know. We messed up. We really made our kids selfish because we wanted them to have everything we didn't have.
Yep.
Say something.
People got in debt. They got credit cards in debt. And the generation before us didn't. You know, people had homes. They got those second mortgages because it was easy to get. Now they can't retire. And we forgot about schooling too. We really did. We really did.
Yeah.
Not everybody now, not everybody, but we really forgot.
Yeah.
And now we got 40-some-year-old men staying in our house with the mamas.
Yeah.
You know, they need to be out. Men, girls, somebody talking about if you had a daughter, no, it wouldn't be any different.
Yeah, it's the same thing. One standard for all.
If I die, I want my children to be able to take care of themselves.
What were you saying, Miss Rye?
I taught my kids from my mom teaching me. My mom had one main rule. You can do whatever you want to do, but this one main rule was never broken. You must hug and kiss her on greeting.
Oh, okay.
We hug and kiss. Hi, Mom. How was your day? On our way out to school. I'm on my way to school, Mom. Ha and kiss. And I made that same hugging to a whole entire family. Ex-husband's family of 13.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing all that hugging. I'm here. We hugging everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw how it changed the vernacular of the family because he does it with his children, my children, and my children with their children. So I'm saying that to say that the showing affection is something that all our children need. You know what I'm saying? They all need that kind of affection because they don't want to say, oh, I've never been hugged, I've never been kissed. By me installing that into my son, I'm not going to get into the specifics of it, but the one day that he did come home from school and hug and kiss me saved my life. And that's something that he installed in his children, his sons, and my grandson. I got 3. And my grandson see me, Grandma, I'm like, grandson. And I'll be like, hi, who's this? He goes, this. And the cooking, I'll be up making, I'm Betty Crocker, making 3 meals a day, having him help me cook. I'll show you him. 3 years old, learning how to bake.
Yeah, they need they from their granny. That's how my sons them learned how to cook from my mom. And they learned how to iron and everything from my mama.
Mother, I was truly, truly afraid I wasn't going to be a grandmother. I had one older son that was so into his career. I had another son learning his ways right now. I got 3. So I'm like ecstatic over the moon.
I got 10, honey. So
4 of them rotten. I only got 2 kids. That's 4 of them rotten.
That's all I got. I got 2. The one that he stays in Australia when he got the service, he got 7. The one here got 3. Talking about, Mama, don't be talking about me. I ain't got no children. I'm gonna really have y'all dying laughing. I got to share this. Okay. Both of my boys, when they were born, one of their testicles was up. And as a mom, I'm like, oh, my children ain't gonna never have no children. You know, I think about the other one working, okay?
Oh, God.
When they came, one had to get operated to bring his down, and one came down on his own. I say, Lord, I was worried about nothing. One got 7 and one got 3. I said, Lord, them blessings must have really got up there heaven.
They let it loose. They made them things come alive.
Girl, they made them come alive.
What did they do? They gave them a shot. My mom used to always say, please, Dr. Tubba, can you fix me? I think after my mom's 5th child, I said, please, can you fix me? And they put my mom on birth control. She got pregnant right away with the 6th one. That didn't work.
Yeah, them old women, they had.
Yeah, my mom was fertile myrtle.
My grandma, it's amazing. Poor women can get pregnant like that. Richer women, they ride here poor thing, they can't get pregnant or nothing. We just pop babies out like candy.
That's the lifestyle that they live.
Yeah,
and what they did to their bodies.
Yeah. And my mama used to say, my daddy used to say, well, stop looking so good then.
Here you go. And mother like, is that a compliment or not?
Yeah,
You
my mom was
gotta
like,
think about it. You gotta think about it. Is that a
No,
compliment?
I better go. But let me really go in here and mess up my stuff and look awful.
Like, how do I take this?
Yeah. Angela says I have a friend who 2 boys. Yeah, only one. One came down on its own. They waited until one turned about 5, and the other one his just dropped down on its own.
oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's what I don't like what's going on right now with the younger people. Now I'm not telling people what to do, but I don't see these younger people um like I don't know what is the right term, like household things. Like you don't see the younger people cooking meals. You don't see the young people taking care of
They
their
don't do
yard,
nothing. Don't
their
take out
home.
no
They,
garbage.
they
But
just
that's not
I just
promoted. It's not
I
promoted.
know, Sugar, but I'm just saying I want to know if it's
Mhm.
just me who's seeing that. I was like, and I'm
And
not
no
No,
that old.
bedtime.
no.
The no bedtime
Like
get me too.
that's
They
like you
ain't got
can't
no
tell your
bedtime.
kids. Like if you got younger kids, you can't tell them, well, make sure you find a woman that cook and clean. You can't tell your sons that no more because it's hard to find. They're not gonna find them. You might find
Well,
them that cook here and there, but like the conversations like like our parents had with us and before us, like that there was the qualities that you have them qualities are gone.
yeah,
Oh, they can clean it up. The parents just don't make them. That's
No, but I
yeah,
mean, I'm talking
no.
about
I'm talking
when
about
you tell
somebody
them to
wrote
find
something.
when you tell them to find their mate, because these girls, they're like, man, I am not. They grandma. We got to remember, grandma out there twerking, so she ain't learning how to cook
yeah,
there. Mama stressed because now she got to take care of her own kid, and so a lot of things comes with that. Like,
yeah.
who's teaching them? Nobody's teaching them.
And now these days you got to worry as a child. The child has to be going and bailing the mama and the daddy out of jail because the mama and daddy is getting into stuff like reliving their childhood because
Mm-hmm.
they had children young. So it's like it skips that all these children now at in this age group now don't have grandmas and grandpas because the grandmas and grandpas, they're what is called being a silver fox, and they're out there dancing and
And
getting
don't want to be called grandmama.
yeah, and they
Everything
say
but
I'm
grandma.
grandma.
I
Mhm.
said, honey, I lived long enough. Call me grandmama. I don't want no nana, no nothing, or whatever. Call me grandmama. I already know
Yep.
where I'm at. Let's not even make it up. And I keep saying that's an honor.
I
It
know,
is.
right?
To me,
Microwave.
it's an
Look what
honor.
Urban says. Cooking to them is pressing start on the microwave or boiling a craft dinner.
Uh-huh.
Whew.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
I
my boys should learn how to cook
Well,
too.
my
They
nephews,
learn
that's why my nephews got snatched up so quickly because they cook, they clean, they do
both
it. And
my
all the women is
sons.
like, ooh,
Now I ain't
Hey,
gonna say all the
I'm
cleaning, but
holding
they
on
do
to
cook.
you.
that these
They do
kids,
And I
cook.
said, they better because I'll go up in the house about, are they treating you well?
and
Better
most good,
recognize.
they want a woman that's like their mom, that's going to know how to cook. That's
Yeah.
going to
Well, I
know.
think
Well,
my
that
daughters are the
depends
opposite,
because
though.
my daughter got that side of me and my son don't. So my
Mhm.
son will not be. I don't think he want nobody like his mother. I don't think so.
Because really, my sons are the cooks in the family. So,
Yeah,
it could be the opposite way
he
around.
better find that old fashioned woman or he messed up. He messed
Mhm.
up. My daughter got all of that. She got my son. I'm like, no, it's not because I don't want to cook. It's because my eating habits changed.
Yeah.
So now I'm eating more
Well, my
healthy.
husband will tell you
So I'm eating
he
more
didn't marry
healthy.
Betty Crocker. So,
That's right. But
he,
but I'm eating more healthy. So a lot of that southern stuff is gone.
yeah.
Can't eat it
Yeah.
no more.
Yeah.
Microwave.
And you got to remember too, women are working, they're not home, so they're all over the place. So a lot of times cooking takes time. And then if they don't get home to 6 or 7, then I mean, you're gonna try to find something fast.
Yeah.
Dinner's going to
They,
be.
they got to get up and do it again the next day.
Yeah, because I say when women go to work, how they say man is head of household, but still strongly believe you give up some of that household when that woman working outside the home, then you got to help her.
Yeah.
You really do.
Mhm.
If it's gonna be a good marriage, you gotta help her. She tired.
Yeah.
And then you want to roll in the hay all night? Oh yeah, you got to help. You got to help.
You want
Yeah.
we can get to the hay quicker if you know.
Yeah. And then
Well,
they,
that's what my daddy used to say. He used to say,
yeah.
I do not want you tired. Sit
And
down.
then they up there
Oh my
talking about
God,
all
here
that
go another
stuff.
one.
That used to be my dad. He used to say, honey, oh, you working too hard, baby. Let me finish them dishes. And I'd be like, I already know. What you said, Miss Ride?
About to eat time. That was my time off. Just about to eat. Give your mama a break. Let's go eat Chinese food or something somewhere. I'm like, okay.
But I never, in this marriage, I never had to cook unless I really wanted to cook. It's always been that way. So, or he'll cook or, but yeah, it's always been that way.
Oh, look at Jay. Talk about, I love the hay part.
I bet you do. We all do. If you do it right. Nah. Since you talk. Yeah, nah. Since you
ask for it and you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what now, like I said, from the beginning, when I was younger, I used to think it was weird that my mom and dad had separate rooms. But now, you know how it's like you don't understand things until you get to be a certain age. And when I got older, I was like, yeah, mama. Yeah, mama.
A lot of people, they do. They sleep in separate rooms. They really do.
Yeah.
It could be for health issues. It could be for anything. That's why I tell everybody, stay out of people's business. No.
Yeah. That's what I learned, that the whole lesson, if you can get nothing out of this whole live stream, is that everybody, you got to form your relationship what works for you and yours. You can't compare your relationship to nobody else's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then everybody got different personalities and stuff like that too. So my household have this set of personalities. Mm-hmm. Your household has its own set of personalities. All of them don't mix. Mm-mm. Like every child is different. So some you got to be gentle with. Some you could be this way with. You everything's about learning people. So I tell people they need to leave their daggone, and sometimes people leave. Nobody asks you for your advice. Like, stop giving unsolicited advice.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Want to be in good hands at all times, and sometimes they go to the left, and sometimes when they go to the right. It's a good thing because this is generations of stuff that we have to pass down to our children for them to be better fathers, be better mothers, to raise better children. Because, like I said, as I believe in Gavin said that your generation, baby boomers, I didn't know how to balance my checkbook. I learned from my mom because my mom didn't know. I had to do all my mom's business. Mm-hmm. I paid my bills. I paid all the bills. All my mom would do was go. She's an RN. All she would do is work and come home, eat, and go to sleep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My sister, we did all. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the life for us to do. And you think that they didn't teach all of that in school.
I know. And you know what we're talking about, really younger women, it would be phenomenal if we had, younger women, late 20s, and up, or even younger, because that's why I say us older women, we're going to have to start speaking out, and tell the truth.
I say that all the time. You're absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm. My mom, towards the end of her life, because my mom lived to be 80 years old, and it wasn't until my mom was about 67 where she started to tell me things. And I was like, why didn't you tell me this when I was 20? I could have saved myself so much pain.
You know what? I've never heard my mother ever say it's the time of the month.
Oh, my mom did. She was one of
those. I've never heard that. No,
Caribbean parents will never say that. My mom used to say, you gotta hide that. Nobody.
I've never heard it ever. Never seen a pad. Never seen.
I've heard people say that.
Never. I've never heard. Oh, I'm flashing or menopause. So I knew when I got it. She was like blah blah blah. Okay, even though, and I'm like, I got it, but I know when when do she still got? I'm like, I've never heard it.
Yeah,
I
they
never
didn't talk
heard that
about
it's
those
this time
things.
of the month. Yeah, I've never heard it
And
ever.
I used to say to my mom, I used to say things, and mom used to be like, "You tell your brother that?" I was like, "Yes, mom." I said, "We're educated. We talk about." I said, "Mom, if you don't have these conversations with
They
your
gonna find
sons,
out the
how
wrong
are
way.
they going to know anything when they get into their relationships?" And my mom
Mhm.
was like, "Oh,
Girl, I had started telling my boys about sex. They told my grandma Jean already told us that. My
I
mama
don't.
already told us.
Oh, you got.
My mom, hey, no, my grandma Jean already told us, Mom.
oh, wow."
Yeah, she
Yeah,
done had.
we've never certain things. It just wasn't. I'm like, I didn't know menstrual was a secret, but
It was a
I've
secret.
never heard it. Like, it's that time of go get the pad. I'm like, where did she get the pads? Like, what? I'm like, where did she hide them? Like, it's like,
Mhm.
never, ever.
No. And my mom, and I don't know how you ladies were raised, but in our house, my mom used to say, if you're having your period, everybody does not need to know you're in pain, and they don't need to know this. And I was like, why not?
Exactly. And I'm
And I
like,
used to say, why not?
exactly.
My brother used to say, what's wrong with you? I'd be like, I got my mom. Like, "Whoa, hey,
You
hey."
couldn't say that. And I'm like, wow. And then it got to
That's
the
their
point.
generation.
No, but
My
it's
mom
so
said you just
funny.
didn't do that.
It got to the point I never said it neither, because I'm like, guess that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I heard
So even
somebody else say
even
that
when
mom never talked
I
about
had
it.
a man, I've never, like, unless I would act funky when it came, because I didn't want to say it, instead of saying it's this time of
So
the
when
month.
you had your first period, what do you say? You go hide, try to.
No,
Yeah,
you don't
my mom
hide.
hit it. When I got my mom hit it.
No, when I
But
first
I'm
got
saying when you got yours.
no, it was so bad. I knew what it was. They still teach it in school and stuff like
Okay.
that. You still had hygiene class when time you
Mm-hmm.
got to junior high school, unless you
Yeah.
was one of the ones who got it, before junior
Okay.
high school. So,
Okay.
and then they knew you was going to come home. So they like this. That's it. I'm like, I wanted a party. I wanted a sad party. Because I'm thinking I'm dying. Sorry, YouTube. Because everybody have it different. And imagine you just sitting up there and the cramps you in class. And it's like, a lot of times it happens, people caught it right in school. And
Mm-hmm.
there's no way this
Yeah.
running all down your daggone leg. And then you in
Oh,
pain and you like, and at that
Yeah.
point, you don't know you need 2 aspirin or 2 Tylenol. No, because who you going to tell in school? So you sitting there in pain that
Yeah.
whole entire time
hmm.
until you get
Yeah.
home. Because you didn't
Because
remember,
you
they
can't
didn't,
talk to anybody
right?
about it
You didn't
because
have
nobody
nobody
would
to
talk
talk
about
about
it.
it, right?
Hmm.
Nobody spoke upon it. So you can't say I'm in pain. You can't say, oh my God.
Yeah,
So
I
you
used
go
to
to
have
the
those bad
bathroom.
cramps
All you
too.
do is
Yeah.
get a little tissue, you get some tissue there until you get home.
Ain't no
Because it's
Midol. That
just
Midol
leaking.
didn't help.
Yeah, I used
No,
to
but
my used to be bad, and I used to throw up every month. So my mom didn't have no choice, and my brothers didn't have no choice but to know because they would hear me. They'd be like,
Yeah, I
"Oh
can remember.
God."
I can remember every time it comes. It's like, oh my goodness. So after I had my first child, and thank God they went away. Oh my goodness.
mine's never went away until menopause kicked in. But now with my son, I'm like, now forget about that. I'm like, this I made sure I changed up. I got more comfortable. Because I'm like, so when he have a girlfriend or whatever, like, when that time of the month, he's feeling, leave her alone. If she start acting funny, or because sometimes a lot of these men, they always be like, okay, the woman is supposed to be the man's piece. I'm like, that is impossible because of
Mhm.
all the things that we go through. How the heck can we be their piece? We got
Yeah.
hormonal problem up and down, up and down. Some people got
Mhm.
fibroids. Some people got pox. POC. I mean, women go through
Yeah.
so much. They
Mhm.
need to be our piece.
Well, the thing that never made any sense to me is I didn't get any sympathy from my mother. I got all my sympathy from my daddy.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yeah.
trying to get me some sympathy
And I
too,
used to
girl.
be like, I used to say to
Yeah,
my mom, like, what's wrong with you?
it's from her past. That's what it was, and she didn't know how
Yeah,
to.
it was, she
She
didn't
Right.
didn't
think
know
it
how to
was
change
normal.
it.
Yeah,
See,
and my daddy used to be there in the bed. He would have a heating pad rubbing my back and bringing me soup, and my mom would be sitting there talking about, "That's wrong with these girls. Now they too soft."
yeah, but you gotta
I can
remember
see.
how old will her mother be. See,
That's what I'm
you gotta
saying.
remember
You
the
just never
further
know
back
her
you
past.
go.
Yeah, well, my mom was born in 37.
Now
Mhm.
imagine how old her mother is.
Yeah.
So the further back you go, the only thing they
Mhm.
know how to do is take care of.
Mhm.
And they didn't have that time to do all that
Mhm.
lovey-dovey. When you working 16 and 17 hours, and on
Don't I
top of
know?
that, you got to have a side hustle, and then you having
Mhm.
baby after baby, and then on top of that, you're taking
Mm.
care of other people's kids at
You
the
be
same time.
tired.
Yeah.
So
I
And
didn't
your daddy
understand that when
still
I was,
dragging her across the bed.
yeah. Yeah, and my mom used to be like, "Girl, don't tell me about being no woman until you get your own business." So I didn't understand what my mom was talking about, but shoot, I don't know how my mom. Now I think about it, my mom 10 kids, and it used to
10
be more than
kids.
that
Can
because
you
each of us would have
imagine?
a friend
Girl,
come over plus my
shit.
daddy, and you working full time.
And
I don't
working.
know.
And she
Mm-mm.
might have went back even before her 6 weeks. Still tired.
So they were different back then, but I just had to learn that, accept what you can from your parents, and then,
yeah,
you know,
Yeah, and forgive them. That's what I tell
forgive
people. I
them
had
because
a
they did just like
stepfather.
me. Now I'm in that phase because my nieces and nephews tell me stuff, and they be like, "No, no, auntie, that's old fashioned," and I'd be like,
Mhm.
"What?" And I'd be like,
They
"No, it's not."
always
They're like, "Yes, it
flag,
is." I'm like, "Go sit
just
down."
flag you. I always just flag my hand. I'm like, yeah, you wait. You wait. You gonna see.
Yeah.
yeah,
And our
yeah,
auntie knew it
yeah.
more than what you think she knew.
Yeah,
Mhm.
every generation it changes, but I think
Oh yeah, it's gonna
the
always.
most I think the most important thing is you respect each other in the family, that this is how this family operates, that's how your family operates. And because sometimes like people outside of your immediate family don't understand, like cousins and aunties and uncles, and they try to get involved, but every family is different.
Yeah,
And if they're not going to do anything to help you, stay
And a
out of
lot of it's formed, like we talked about, from your childhood. A lot of you. By the time you're 3 years old, that's all formed right there.
it.
So
hmm
that's why a lot of that come. It really everything I think of that bad or good is from my childhood.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
I agree. I agree with that
Mhm,
100% because
mhm,
I used to always think it was something wrong with me, and still until I started realizing that I wasn't the only one that was messed up.
mhm.
Hmm.
Somebody knocking somewhere.
Yeah, that's me. Hold
Oh,
on.
ah,
And a lot of things too. I had to realize a lot of things
mhm,
was in our head.
mhm.
So that's why they say that, like, a lot of kids, when they complain, I'm like, a lot of things is in your head.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they don't
It is.
realize that until they have their own kids,
Yeah.
and then they realize, Mom, sorry, I didn't understand such and such.
Mhm.
So a lot of times kids create, what they, especially in our days when we had good TV shows,
Uh-huh.
not like these shows now where things were functional, and
Uh-huh.
they thought it was supposed to be like that, not knowing that's
Yeah.
a TV show.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that's not real life,
No,
So
I
they
know.
so they started creating realities in their
Mhm.
head.
Mhm.
Not and I'm like, that's
Mhm.
not reality. So when we get older, that's when once we realize that, that's when we appreciate our parents.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Once we realize, a lot of stuff was in our head, or,
Mhm.
I get it. That's how you was
Mhm.
raised, she was raised, she was raised.
Mhm.
Like, and who helped me get through that was Billie Holiday.
Mhm.
Oh.
Because I always into Billie Holiday, and I thought about, and I always seen my grandmother in her.
Mhm.
So then that made me more dig into what happened in the 1930s. See, I tell
Mhm.
people sometimes music, and then it makes sometimes to understand people that your parents. So sometimes you got to dig into what was going on
I know.
at
That
that time. Then you
Hmm.
would get a better understanding of why they are the way
why.
they are. But
Yeah.
people don't want to invest that time. Like, people don't want to, like, if your great grandmother was born in the 1900s or the 1800s, you know, to figure out why your mother and grandmother sometimes go, what happened in the 1800s? What was going on? How was they treated?
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of us don't want to do that. But then again, you hear all the time in these days people telling us, well, back in the days, well, no, that's not what happened. You know,
Yeah,
that's not what
but
happened.
people have to be willing to have those conversations.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until my mom was
Oh,
later on in life in her 60s that I wish my mother would have been more open being younger, because there's so much things that you can teach younger people if you
it is.
have, you know, allow yourself to be
Mhm.
vulnerable and open
Yeah.
up and say, this is what happened to me. But back then they always kept everything as a
Yeah.
secret,
And a
they
lot
thought
of
that was
times
good and it wasn't.
a lot of times they had to hold it. You know, a lot of times
Right.
they
I was
had
getting ready to
to
say
lie
that, sis. Mm-hmm.
because it meant their life, or they
Mm-hmm.
just didn't want to
Yeah.
remember.
Right.
A lot
I
of
was
Yeah, they were
getting
times
trying to forget it.
right.
they want to forget it. So that's why I say, really, the burden is on our generation. It really
Right.
is, to be able to talk about it and continue on. Because, like I said,
Well,
stepfather,
I had to nag my parents because my daddy was sick, so I knew I wasn't going to have much longer with him. So I
yeah,
said, if I don't find out now, when
now,
am I going
yeah,
to find out? I'll never.
yeah,
That will be ended. So that's why I started nagging my parents,
hmm
because I had the older parents.
yeah,
It wasn't until my mom was 67 where she started talking about the things that happened to her in her childhood and
hmm
immigrating and how things
hmm
were in the 60s. And because when
hmm
we moved to Florida, we couldn't get a home in any area but a black area. But my mom, being the mom that she was, she said, I don't like those hood houses. I want a house on this side of town. So my mom went and got a friend from her job to go and say she wanted a house, the white
Mm.
woman. And then on move-in day, we all showed up.
Surprise.
Yeah, and they was like,
Y'all
"Oh,
was
no, no, no," and it
surprised.
was too late. And that's how we got our house on our side of town, because back then we weren't allowed to
yeah,
integrate the
yeah,
home. So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
how it was, and all of those things I wouldn't know. It would have died with my mom if I didn't push.
Yeah, and that's what I tell people. You know, you really have to ask and dig in. And that's what I tell my sons. You need to ask now. You know, but I really would love, I keep
Yeah,
saying I would really
but
love to
see
write a
what I
book.
do, what I like to do is I don't wait for them to ask. You understand what I'm saying? I just
See, but everybody's not like you, Sugar.
no, but
I wish I
remember,
had family like you. My family is not like you.
Billie Holiday helped me make me, from me understanding that so much have happened to our forefathers. They didn't have a voice. A lot of things they could not talk about because, like she said, like a lot of them was so abused. Aunts, uncles, their own fathers, and all the mixing. You know, a lot of them don't want a lot of them don't want you to say. A lot of them couldn't say, "Hey, my grandfather is really my father." You know, a lot of them couldn't say a lot of these daggone because. So a lot of them was abused so bad that it was always like the family secret. And besides family secrets, we had the racism and watching sometimes when you watch somebody getting whipped and beat and abused, like it was so many different things that went on, and especially what the master did to our grandparents and to and it's so traumatizing. And then they didn't care, like we may say now, F your feelings, but back then it was really F your feelings.
Yep.
It
And
was
you
really.
had to, like my mom said, because they left from Jamaica and went to New York. I think it was like 1959. And back then it was the height of everything going on.
The Harlem
And
Renaissance, yeah.
yeah, and my parents never had experienced racism, so they was like, what you talking about? They were all confused because almost everybody that they knew where they came from was black. So there's like, what do you mean because I'm black? Like, it was a new concept for them. And my dad coming from being a police officer in Jamaica to being a police officer in New York was completely different, because it was like, you can't go to this area. You're only in, they only made him police in black areas. he wasn't allowed to police in white areas. And I was like, and I wouldn't know those things unless they had those conversations. But they didn't tell me that until I got to be much older.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Parents went through so much
and
that
think of all the bad things they may have done for us to eat. Of
Mhm.
course, they're not going to tell us these things. We see them good, but they had to do some of them. Probably had to do some strange things, some things too. You know, it's a lot of different things that you know, and how we know because the people do it now.
Because my mom said she had to make, even when she was married, she had to make a decision: birth control or food.
Because you had to pay for it back then.
Your children got to eat. So what happened? You get pregnant. Can you imagine that? I don't even want to imagine that.
Yeah.
My mom was saying when back when she said in the 50s when birth control and stuff came out, and she was like, that's why I didn't use it, because she said a lot of women back then were dying from it because the doses were too strong.
Yeah, they were
it's not
off.
like now. It was like that's why she had so much children.
They were way off. Yeah. Another thing that happened, because you know, like I said, I worked with pregnant women, the IUD, and I just want to say that because that's not really made for young women unless you are married and you have one partner for a long time, and I don't mean a year, but they start giving them IUDs to these poor girls, and they were like 16, 17, because they had more sexual partners, and that causes a problem when you have that IUD. And I just wanted to say that because I don't know why they start doing that to younger women.
I don't know either.
Younger poor women.
I
Let's
didn't
put
even
it
know
that
that.
way.
Mhm.
Yeah, but when you get the IUD, you shouldn't have a lot of sexual partners. To see the girls, they don't consider, they think a long-term partner is 3 weeks. Okay.
Yep. They think a month. That's my
and
boo.
so
Yeah.
you have another partner coming, and you're gonna think you get infections and everything from that thing. So you know, sometimes we just don't know.
Yeah, that's what made me started studying history. So I may not knew, but it gave me ideas of, oh, okay.
But you got to remember, younger people don't read either.
Don't even talk about that, Betty.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't even. They don't. My sons didn't like to read. They read now, thank God. But if you don't read, how can you learn? I even told my granddaughter that, you know, my grandma, I don't like to read. I said, well, you will never learn. If you don't
write. So now they don't know how to write. They don't know how to sign their name. They don't write in cursive. But when I had my
don't even get me started with the cursive.
Craziest mess you ever heard.
Signing names.
Started taking birth control pills.
They
And
don't even know how to tell time on a regular clock. Let me shut up. Okay, go ahead.
I have a son, and I got off, and I went to treatment with the doctor, took the dates that I want the child to be born, and, you know, did real family planning so to be born in time to go to school in 4 years, you know? So after that, I got an IUD. Now, with the IUD, I had it for, supposed to be checked, supposed to get it checked every 2 years or a year or whatever. I had it, and when I got it taken out, after I had my second son, I was inactive. I wasn't having sex, and they didn't want to give me no more Depo-Vero or whatever. Because I was celibate. So when they took it out, I thought it was out. Not even 3 months later, I was about to die again. Be undead.
What?
Unalive.
Unalive. It broke off, but they took out, and it smelled so bad. It made my whole smell horrible. And I was in Texas, and my sister was like, I don't care, you going straight to the hospital as soon as you get here. I don't care, da 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 da. And I went straight to my old hospital, my old place I go, and sure enough, it took out the tip of the IUD. That thing was rancid and rotten. Glad you came. Now you won't have to go to the hospital because they removed it and gave you some antibiotics. But if I would have not came to New York, I tell you, horrible. I mean, I had cramping. I never had no no blood or whatever. But
That's
I was just
that's traumatic.
It is. I'm telling you, women, we got men, y'all go through stuff, but women, I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
men
what
go
my
through their
mama
own
say
stuff, but I don't know what
when
men go through, but I
God
know
gave
what
us
women
that
go through.
second hole, girl, we just
with these transgenders, they really women. You don't go through half of the stuff real women go through.
That's why I don't argue with them because I'm like, girl, child, please, you want to switch? Anytime you really want to switch, let me know. Because
Have it.
I don't. That's why people, a lot of women get. I don't get offended. I don't care because I know for a fact what you ain't. Now you can live your life the way you want to, but for I see a lot of women they wanted to. There is no debate. You understand all the things that we go through, and then some people menopause, the pre-menopause, sometimes for some people is worse than the menopause.
Yes, that's
You know,
me.
I
it's
started
worse
in
than
my
the
30s.
menopause. In fact,
Yeah,
you
I didn't even know it was a real thing until I went to my
Flashes,
doctor, and the
honey.
doctor was like, because I was having those things like
the flash.
rage,
Oh,
the
that was me.
psychotic rage.
Yes,
And
that
I
was
was like,
me.
what's wrong with me? I'm like, I'm ready to chop somebody's head off.
Yeah, I had them, girl.
I was like, what is wrong with me? I said, I
Mm.
need to do something or I'm going to end up in prison.
Oh Lordy.
But tell me,
What'd you say, Miss Ride?
but tell if I was pre.
I didn't-
I haven't had my menstrual in 25 years. 25 years.
she's
So
breaking up. I can't.
I
Yeah, you're breaking up.
have.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you're still breaking up.
Yeah, you're still breaking up. Just type it in the chat.
Yeah.
But that's why I said I ain't got no time to be arguing with y'all. And I had a lot of good friends that was um decided to say, oh, I'm a woman or whatever. And they knew when it was that time in the month for me and everything, I don't want to hear about we girl. No, I ain't. They knew, don't bother me. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it at all.
And that had to be a whole conversation that I had to have with some of my friends, that people think all women having a menstrual cycle is the same. Some menstrual cycles is just not healthy. Some women,
Some is
and
PMDD. It's
I had to
PMDD.
learn that my menstrual cycle was not healthy, and it's not conversations that we have, especially in the Black community, that
Yep.
if you're vomiting, if your stomach is protruding, if you got other
Did
issues
you
going
have the
on
shakes
besides
with
that,
that? I
you
had
need to
one
go see a
girl.
doctor.
I had a girl who used to have the shakes. She used to vomit. She used to have her whole body start shake. She had the shakes and everything.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but
Over 25 years without a menstrual.
Oh, okay.
I have a friend like that, just stopped real early in her 20s. She just stopped.
Wow.
She had 2 children before that. So, well, she had got a tubes tied too, but it just stopped.
Wow.
I know
That's
I didn't
amazing.
like them. I didn't like them people.
I didn't like them either.
I didn't like them people. Oh, I'm 40-something years old. I'm like, dang, I'm at the end of that, and it's still coming on time.
But you know what?
Non-stop.
I used to say that about, I can't wait till the end. But the only thing with periods, that's the thing that keeps you lubricated, your skin, everything. Once that stops, everything dries.
You get dry.
That's all
You
right.
get
That's all right.
dry.
It's stuff for that. Goodbye.
Oh,
It's stuff for that.
I know, but that's one thing. I ain't gonna use
Did
that.
you see your face when you said that?
You're
Oh,
like, oh
You
yeah.
look like a naughty little girl when you said that.
naughty girl.
Like a naughty
Now,
girl.
one thing, I'm not taking hormones,
You
though. I'm
said,
gonna tell you that
I
now.
know with a smile.
Hormones is not on my agenda. That's just my personal belief. It's just not on there.
Yeah, but as women, did you think about it? We never stop going through something.
Oh yeah, that's what
Your
I'm
whole life from you begin, from you're born
I try
till
to
you
tell
die.
people that even with a good marriage, you still, as a woman, you still gonna go through something.
You never stop.
That's
I'm
what
like,
my mom always say. Take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of yourself. Is
Yep.
that's just about. And been told by that another old woman, and she had a long-term marriage, and she pulled me aside before I had got married, and she said, "Betty, I believe that Richard is a good man." She said, "But I want you to remember something. You take care of you." And that was just, from an older woman that was in a long-term marriage. So,
Yep. And I think that more conversations, like realistic conversation,
mhm.
needs to happen. Like, I don't know, like my mom used to say to all the girls when they were getting married. My mom would say, "Don't focus on your engagement," because I think women get tied up in all of that.
Mm.
Oh, all the parties and going to this and announcing this and taking pictures and on the beach and this, and then when the reality of life and
Hits,
marriage, it's
hits,
not pictures and
hits.
pretty dresses and all of those things. So don't worry about the wedding. Think about your marriage and your relationship.
And
And
that's a
and
responsibility.
younger,
That's a big responsibility.
that's a big. I feel like that's a
And
big topic that we need to have another day.
I'm glad in a sense I never wanted that responsibility.
Mm.
Listen, everybody's I've never wanted
Mhm.
that responsibility because that's another job in itself. I'm like,
It
no,
is.
I
It's
can't
a
do it.
big job.
I've never pictured it ever.
Mhm.
I've never seen me walking down the aisle. I always used to joke and said, only way a man would ever marry me, he would have to catch me by surprise in Las Vegas. I said, that's the only way I would get married. I would have to, but rather than, I've never seen, I've never looked up, I don't even like to get invited to weddings.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
I don't know. It's like, I'm sorry, but weddings and funerals, I feel the same. I feel the same. Maybe because so many people has failed. I've seen people go from being super happy, and then I seen them ready to like all the when the
Mhm.
divorce come in, the or they together and they never lost. So I've always seen the happy wedding, but the everything else afterwards has not been that's so from then I said, maybe I don't want to get married. They so
Mhm.
happy this day.
Mhm.
And then right after that day in the honey high, they say the honeymoon is over.
Some of us
Mhm.
happy, some of us are.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
but
that's
like what my
one and
mama was
two.
saying is, I think that you have to make sure you're focusing on your relationship and
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
the
The
whatever,
reality.
the
Don't be looking at the
display.
TV mess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, none
like
of that
trying to
true.
be like in the entertainment world
Yeah, it
and
ain't because your
posing for
body.
pictures and showing off things on Instagram and social media just to say, and look at my ring and look at that, but then your relationship is raggedy.
And then,
Mhm.
a lot of the elders felt young folks by really not explaining to them, your wife is not going to look the same no more for all this time, or your husband is not going to look the same. You know, they're going to gain weight. They like, or they're going to lose their hair. They're going to get, a lot of change. Like
Mhm.
that's why it's up to us now to say to the young folks, especially if they're getting married, things gonna change. Like so you have a lot of men, oh, I don't want this type of woman. She looks skinny now, but she's gonna change, right? She's
Mhm.
beautiful now. You do know she's gonna change, right? So,
Mhm.
stop looking, on the outside and like a lot of the different changes, even the point of, when that man, he can't,
Yeah, it's true, girl.
Yeah,
everybody.
when he can't be the spotlight.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So a lot of them things, they don't tell us about telling us, just having that talk, with young people, how to communicate and you know when it's like and even though you could look in a mirror all the time, you don't see yourself until once in the blue you see yourself for really how you look.
Mhm.
Usually you in the mirror, you out the mirror, you put the makeup on, whatever. You so and sometime it'll catch you. Oh my God, I got this new thing came in my face. You know,
Yes, he said, "Where
or
did this come from?"
yeah, like hold up. Even though it was there, but
Ooh.
you like, wow, I really am changed. Something didn't hit you. I'm aging, but you look like that yesterday. But like I said, people are in and out, they're in and out, and there's something to catch you off guard, or some people they get the like the little black things on their face, and you know, all these new things start
beauty marks
popping up, and you're like, what
they say? What is that?
Yeah, exactly.
What is it?
And then you go into a depression, like, oh my God, now they're gonna see me as like I'm all then you gotta learn how to appreciate that. So
probably when I got close to 60, girl, I looked in the mirror one day, girl, said, oh, let me even put some makeup on.
Yeah.
And then after a while, and it's so true that I could finally look in the mirror and just say, hey, that's you. You know, but it was like,
it's always a shock. Where like it catch you by shock at first, and then you have to learn to say, "Okay, this is where I'm at now." Because in your mind, you're still young, and you know, used to. But in the reality, is no, no,
no, you are.
Yep. And my mom prepared me for that because my mom used to be like, oh, well, when I married your daddy, he had a full head of hair. And then I'm looking at my daddy like
he got none.
He's bald and he done gained weight. And mom's talking about, that's what I'm talking about. But you got to understand that who you marry is that all of the outside is going to change. But if you don't love the person that they are as your friend, and I think that my mom said that was the defining thing for my mom and my dad in their relationship is my mom came in with one kid, my dad came in with one kid, and then they had 8 kids together. And I think, and my mom said from the beginning, my mom said, I knew he was the one I was going to marry because he was concerned more about my daughter and all of that. And then the opposite, my mom was checking on his son. So it was just like, okay, when they come together, like if you got somebody and they're concerned about who, you know, you as a person and your children, then that's how you build a friendship. And I feel like these days people don't build a friendship. They just go from high to the bed to married, and they didn't.
They don't even date no more, do they? Date?
Yeah.
No dating.
But it's sad now that they tell you the new thing now is you don't date. So don't take somebody on a date unless you plan on getting some. And that's what these manospheres putting out
I've
now.
heard it too.
And I'm like, are you? And talk about women just use men. I'm like, first of all, none of us starving.
like we have to wait on them to get a meal.
Like, you know, like they use it for a date, and then they don't want you no more. And after you done spent the money, I'm like, there's no.
I heard one guy. He told me, he says, if I take somebody on a date, I expect her to put out. I was like, excuse me.
I hope he tell her before he take her out.
Well, he told me.
But that's the new thing
stay away from him.
No,
that's the new thing that's out there. So a lot of it's like they're changing the dating scene to make women put out more.
Oh, I know it's not.
And I'm like, Ninja, please. But a lot of them, what they think they're doing to hurt us, they're really hurting their daughter. Because you're going to say, well, I can say that, but I'm going to tell my daughter different. No, you're not, because your homie who has that son, this is what he's telling his son.
Yeah.
So they're making a society of men like that. And then they point the women and paint them as angry and bitter and everything else.
And they're angry and bitter. They're not used. Working and oh my goodness.
Well, ladies, I'm about to end it. I don't know if you guys have anything else that you want to say.
I didn't expect to stay this long, but y'all, thank you.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Beautiful. Why we got to do this more? This is beautiful.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. I'm going to be doing this every Wednesday now. Okay. So
today is Wednesday.
So y'all are welcome to every Wednesday at 3. What time did I go? 2:00.
Yeah, you went 2
perfect.
But we've been on 2 hours.
Perfect.
Yeah. So thank y'all, ladies, and thank you to everybody in the chat. Have a
Thank
great
right, and I
evening.
hope to see you guys. I will
Okay.
be seeing you, Betty. Nice meeting you.
Okay, nice meeting you
And
too.
the chat, thank you for being here. We appreciate you too.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
And before
Bye.
we leave, right? If you didn't hit that like, hit that like.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
forgot to hit
girl,
that
thank
like,
you.
before we leave, if you didn't hit that like button for us, please. We would like to see that like go up because I know some of you came in here and forgot.
Mm-hmm.
So on our way out, hit that like.
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. Thank you, my beautiful sisters.
Okay, bye-bye,
All
everybody.
right,
Bye.
darlings. All right, sis. See you later.